Welcome back to Catching Up with Katie. We had a little bit of a break week because I was not here. I don't know if you can tell by the tan about the little sun-kissed cheeks. I was gone, and I only talked about this trip for like 3 months leading up to it. So we went to St. Lucia this past week, but we're back. A few things happened.
We're so back.
We're so back. A few things did happen while I was gone. Of course they did, because no one can wait for me to get home for fun things to happen. I had such FOMO, but it was also very fun. So let's just get into everything that's happened while I was gone.
How was St. Lucia, though?
Was good.
It was good?
We did nothing. Like, truly, you know, I would say if we start going on more trips, because this is the first time we've ever gone on a trip together, just me and Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to go to St. Lucia for our honeymoon 5 years ago, but, you know, COVID happened, and then we just kept being like, oh, we'll reschedule. Here we are 5 years. So 2 days ago was our 5-year anniversary. It was beautiful. I'll give a little Sandals St. Lucia review. Okay, so now that Tim is here, she'll just bury her head and be fine. I'll give like a little Sandals review. So everyone was asking where we went, and I wasn't going to really say the resort until after. So we went to Sandals St. Lucia Grand, and it was amazing. I will say I've never really been to a lot of resorts, so I don't have a whole lot of things to compare it to. It is an all-inclusive. It was clean, updated, accommodating. Everyone was nice. The only thing is the food was so mid. And not even coming from me being the picky person. Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying, there wasn't a lot of options, because there was always something for me to eat. But like, okay, we got food delivered to our room one morning for breakfast. The pancakes were so stale, so like brick hard, just not good, dry.
Mid.
But then again, if we wanted chocolate covered strawberries, they'd bring them, and those were good.
Yeah.
Like the steaks were very, I know, I'm so sorry. She's so excited for me to be home. She can't even stand it. I know. She wants you now. She wants you now.
Nate, you next.
Do you want back out? Are you gonna settle? Settle. You have to get some licks. So like I would say also there's the option. Okay, so when you get to St. Lucia, pretty much all the resorts are like at the other end of the island. Yeah. The island itself is only like 240 square miles in entirety. And there's 180,000 people that live there. So but then there's like the majority of the center of it is just rainforest.
So it's all the edges.
Yes. And it is very mountainous. And so driving from the airport to the hotel and back, it was very windy. And if you were a car sick person like me, I about died. I was green when we got there. I made it about 30 minutes of like intense focus on the road before I was about to die. And then there was a whole other hour left. And so like the first driver we had, his name was Norbert. He was texting a woman named Jolene that she was crazy because she was trying to leave him. He was also on the phone with a guy named Earl about tires, and Earl wasn't going to wait on him to come get the tires. And so he was trying to hurry.
Everything except focusing on the road.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it was a beautiful drive. All of the buildings are so colorful. You know, there was lots of green. It was so green because it was just out of the wet season. And so I did have a hard time focusing on the beauty because I was focusing on not puking. That was the one big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. There was the opportunity. It was like $100 or $200 more to take a helicopter, which is a 10 to 15 minute commute.
Yeah. To
take a helicopter. I just don't know how I feel about the helicopter. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about the helicopter though. So like I was scared to do it. But a lot of people did it and said it was way better. So I don't know. If we ever go back, it might be worth the extra for the helicopter.
It sounds safer than the car ride.
The car ride was pretty, because there was a lot of people that were just walking as their commute. And so they would be walking up and down the road, but there was no like shoulders on the roads. Mm-hmm. And so you would be coming around the curve and there'd just be a person there and you're having to like dodge them. But they were fine with it. They were like, there was no reaction. There wasn't like the driver being like, oh no, like that's just a normal thing. Mm-hmm. And so there was just lots of sudden movements
I
and
would not do
stopping.
well.
And so for me as a car sick person, I get motion sick just on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was not. That was the worst part of the entire trip. And then the food just being kind of mid. And I think that's kind of something that all-inclusive restaurant or resorts get. Like, that's just kind of something they're known for, that their food's not going to be the best. That's the only negative. Everything else was fantastic.
Was it?
The people were just so nice. And now from today's sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. Y'all know during foaling season, kid watch, calving season, I don't get a lot of sleep. So the little bit of sleep that I do get needs to be quality. And that's where Brooklyn Bedding comes in handy. I ordered the Aurora Eurotop Queen Medium, but they have a wide variety of selections of mattresses and sizes to fit your needs. I've had this mattress for some time, and I can truly say my sleep has improved. I have a lot of animals and people that count on me every day, and I can't be my best self without my best sleep. My personal favorite thing about the Brooklyn Bedding mattress is that it's not too soft and not too firm for me. It is the perfect level to where my back doesn't kill me all day. But they have options for everyone. They are all designed, assembled, and shipped from their Arizona factory. You get a 120-night sleep trial, plus if you live in the US, you get free delivery and a limited lifetime warranty. I love my Brooklyn Bedding mattress, and I think you would too. If you would like to shop for a new mattress, go check out brooklynbedding.com. You can get 30% off by using my code, which is here on the screen, and click that link in my description. So go check out Brooklyn Bedding, and let's get back to it.
Was it like White Lotus-y at all?
No, I feel like I don't think it was that luxurious a hotel as the White Lotus. It was still so nice, and like, we had a blast. But it was very just, especially the one we were at, it was very just honeymoony. Like, just lots of honeymoons. Not a lot of families, not a lot of kids. Because there's not really anything for kids to do. Like, there's just 2 pools. There's no slides. There's no, like there's nighttime entertainment. We watched a fire show one night. And, like, it was a very romantic location. We are going to go take another trip. I'm not going to say which resort just because I'm going to say it afterwards, right? But we decided we're going to do another one in December. We're like, okay, we don't have kids yet. Unless we make ourselves go somewhere,
You won't.
we just won't. And so let's go ahead and book something now because it's already kind of too close to book for December. But we're like, let's do it right before foaling season so that we have like
one last hurrah.
One last just brain dead moment before we're sequestered to our property.
That's when we should have had our company cruise.
Someone won't go on the cruise boat.
Someone. I don't know who that is.
Someone won't go on a cruise boat because cruises are way more affordable for a group. Way more.
I believe you.
Way more affordable.
Say Ireland, Japan.
Well.
But we were going to go with Evan and Rebecca. So we convinced them to go. So they're going to go for 4 of the nights. We'll go for 6 because she won't leave her babies that long. But yeah, great time. I got a little tan. Jonathan did too. He's crispy. And we just had a great time being brain dead. We didn't do any excursions. We got a couple of massages. I got a facial.
He laid out a little bit.
Every day. So much. That was his.
He used any tanning oil, did he?
He's just so crispy.
I got to get a look at him.
Okay. So other things that happened while I was gone. Abigail had to be a midwife. Tell us about your experience.
When was this? Wednesday or Thursday?
It was sometime in the middle of the trip.
It was like morning. I was sending you update pictures of Bella's udder. And then I think Wednesday morning, maybe, I sent you a picture and you were like, yeah, that's different. And so all day that day, we were kind of like on watch. And then we were hoping that it would be during the day. It wasn't.
No.
And so then Rachel and me are like watching on the cameras. She falls asleep at like 11:30. I fell asleep. And then I woke up at 1 o'clock and I was just like, I know I'm gonna look at the camera and there's gonna be a little, and there was a little blob
nugget
on the camera. And so I like went down there, and he was pretty much like, he's still a little wet, but she had pretty much already cleaned him off. I think he was born around midnight.
Yeah.
And she was still like licking on him. And by the time I left, probably like an hour later, he was eating and everything was
And
good.
you said she had passed her placenta super early.
She laid down like 10 minutes after I got in there. And by the time like I had left, she had already passed her placenta.
That's what a champ.
And then she ate it.
Oh. Well,
the entire thing.
Vitamins.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So they do that in the wild, so there's nothing for like the predators to come get and whatnot. But I'm shocked she had one. And looking back now, I'm like, okay, she didn't look as big this year to me as she did last year in the stomach. And her udder arguably got bigger than last year, which makes sense. It's her second time. But she only had that big old baby in there, that one, and I'm so glad she didn't have trouble.
I was confused because it didn't look like the placenta was coming out. Like, it was the smallest, like, little bit that I've ever seen.
Really?
Like,
I wonder if she'd already been eating it.
I don't know, because I was just like, that doesn't look like how I thought it, like, how I expect it to look. And so I kept wondering if, like, I was like, is there another baby in there? But it's already been, like, an hour, and, like, I don't know. And so I was me and Rachel were talking because she had woken up. And then she laid down and I lifted up her tail because I noticed she was like pushing. And then I could see like the more like purplish, like bigger, like actual placenta coming out. But I was worried for a minute.
But like I went to bed because I'm like, I can't do anything. Like I just went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up early. I don't know why I woke up so early, but I did. And I looked at my phone and there was already a picture that you had sent me. And so I called you kind of early just because I was like, is everything okay? Like, but.
Yeah. Well, when I fell asleep, she was laying in a position like where her butt was like against the wall in the shed. And she had been like looking like she was pushing for like a while, but nothing was happening. And like we had gone down there and checked and like nothing was happening. And so I fell asleep. And then when I went and rewatched them later, she had it in that exact same position. Like she hadn't moved since I stopped looking. She had it against the wall.
She had him standing. He like plopped out.
Yeah, he was big.
Big boy. But he's sweet.
Yeah.
He's sweet. You need to meet him. We got to figure out a name for him still. I'm trying to convince Rebecca to take him with his brothers. Of course, Bella won't have a little girl for me. I want a Bella baby to stay so bad. I want a little girl. If she'd had a singleton girl, that thing would have been named Renesmee.
Oh.
What other option would I've had? Like,
it's just terrible.
That is the option. And we would have called it
what
Nessie.
This one should be? EJ. Edward Jacob. The boy option.
She had Edward and Jacob, but she had Edward and Jacob last year.
And so now she has EJ named after Edward and Jacob.
We got to figure it out. I don't know. Because we have like sprout, bean, basil, bloom, briar. Like, I'm like, do we go with that kind of theme of like herbs? Or do we go with the Twilight theme? I don't know. But anyway, that was your first time soloing it, which luckily she made it decently easy for you. And then let's see. Oh, Denver also. He pulled out some big guns while I was gone.
Yeah, word on the street. He's a champ.
So Denver, mind you, I planned this trip so long ago. I planned it like last November. And I had no clue he was going to be going to this show. I had no clue we were going to be saving him for this show, for this class. But because Denver had not won over $2,500 in the Western Pleasure prior to June 1st, he was eligible for this futurity class at this show in Michigan called Back to Berrien. And so we, kind of made that our goal for him to be back into the show pen in this class. And so when he got there, there was like an AQHA portion of the show that was just regular classes. They weren't futurities. And because it was already after June 1st, and there was no money added, Aaron was able to take him into the class to do the kind of like a little warm up, like just test him out and see how he was. And so he showed in the Green Western Pleasure and won it. So first class back, he wins. He looked fantastic. And then that made us feel a lot more comfortable and confident going into the big class. And it was a very big class, lots of really nice horses, really amazing trainers. And he just looked so amazing. He looked so mature, free flowing. We just did a video about like what is Western pleasure.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything that, in the rule book that states about Western pleasure, it being a pleasure to ride, it being smooth, it looking, the horse having a good expression, a level top line, a very free flowing gait that's slow. I feel like he just exuded all of that in this class. And so he was very consistent, and there was 5 judges and he was 4 firsts and 1 third. And so that was just out of, I think 22 horses maybe.
Wow.
And it was an open class. It was all, trainers, and it was people that I'd looked up to for forever. And it was just,
we could have gone.
I know.
That
I had
been
such
really
FOMO.
exciting.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me have the worst FOMO was Denver doing the barrels. Did you see it?
No.
So they have at this show every single year, they have and we can pull the clip up.
Woo-woo! Woo! Yeah!
Big on the ground, but big on the
They have a class that's bridleless Western pleasure. So they go in and show a class of Western pleasure with no bridle, and then they immediately either put a bridle on or change tack or whatever, and they go and do a barrel pattern. And then there's an overall winner and stuff like that. And so Denver was 3rd in the bridleless Western pleasure, and then he won the barrels with a time of 19.3 seconds.
Mm.
So
That's pretty good.
on that barrel pattern, I would say like a real barrel horse, it would be like a 15-second time would have been good. So
He was zooming.
he was zooming for Denny for sure. He was like, he wrapped the first barrel super well. Between first and second, he didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
He was like, what way do you want me to go? I don't know what's happening.
Aaron
and so
showed him in that?
Aaron did with his hat on backwards for aerodynamics.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then, he needed a back cinch on that saddle real bad because he is not used to going that fast. So the back of the saddle was like popping up. Anyway, people are going to hate on it because they were like, oh, you're just for your own amusement taking your horse into that or whatever. And if you watch Aaron's hands the whole time, if you like actually watch the rider, he's so soft with his hands. He's not jerking in the least bit. He's guiding because Denver keeps anticipating. He's like, you're telling me to turn, or what are you doing? And so he's just kind of like, keeping him in line. So he's not jerking him around. It was something Denver was like very willing to try. And that was, I think, a super big testament to his mind and just him as a young stallion being very trainable, and he tries really hard. So it was a really fun thing. He won that as well. So his lifetime earnings, I was confused as to how much he won in the barrel class because he won it overall. So I think he won $2,500, but I don't know because they had to choose from a bag. So I don't know if it was $500 or $2,500. So his lifetime's earnings is now up to either 13,500 or 15,500. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But first class back.
That's great.
Yeah. Lifetime earnings for a stallion is something that people look for, when they're breeding, if they were a super successful show horse, if they had a long career, if they had a diverse career. So we're getting started. It's doing good. So
Yeah.
I very much wish we had been there, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually had a nice lady stop me outside of the gas station to tell me congrats on
Today.
Denver winning. Yesterday.
that's
Yesterday.
hilarious.
Yeah. Which I don't ever get stopped. It's happened 2 times ever. And I'm leaving the gas station. She's like, "Are you Nate?" I didn't even know what she said. I was like, "Huh?" She said, "Are you Nate?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I thought that was you. Congrats on Denver winning."
Like he's your horse.
And I was like, Thank you.
I love that.
I was really happy.
Y'all have all been a part of Denver's journey pretty much the same amount that I have. Y'all
That
were
is
there.
Nate's spirit horse. So, I mean.
That's right.
That y'all have been there the same amount of times I have to go ride him and see him. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, yeah,
That is true.
it is.
I feel like it's a little our journey too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like,
You've ridden it.
mine?
I have ridden him.
You've ridden that
Mostly
horse.
mine.
So, and then there is something happening this week. I won't say what it is. There is an addition coming to the farm.
Ooh.
That happened before I left, and then we had to kind of like schedule the delivery for after. So y'all stay tuned for that video. What else happened? I mean, I feel like, you know, Denver going to the show and winning was a huge thing. Bella having her baby was a huge thing. Literally just me being gone. And then also, so while we were gone, so it's been a couple months since Seven's been home. Both Abigail and Rachel reached out and would say, like, you know, hey, Seven's, and you know, as he's had some growth spurts, and if you follow along on social media, you've seen we've splinted his front leg a little bit. Well, one of his back feet actually started kind of having a similar issue where he has grown a lot. We're going to go measure him later. He has grown a lot over the last little bit. And that was one of our worries with him coming home, was like, there's going to be some unknown charted territory that like we've never gone into with the growth. You know, if he could have stayed the same size he was as when he got here, I think the management would be a whole lot easier. But as he grows, there's just lots of things that we didn't know what was going to happen. And so it's been 2 months. He has grown a lot. And so with that, there's been, a little bit of some buckling in the hind end. And he still goes outside. He still has seemed like his normal self, but we don't want to allow that to continue to get worse. And we don't want to allow him to keep growing and possibly like causing issues as he grows more without like some more extensive looks into it. And so we talked with Dr. Orsini. You know, we had the vet, our vet come out here while I was gone, and we made the decision for him to go back for probably a month to UTK. So this Thursday, which is probably when this is going to get posted, he's going to go back to UTK for a little bit. I'm not worried about it really, because as the people watching him day to day, you know, if we saw an incredible shift of mood and pain responses and things like that, I think we'd be having different discussions for our plan moving forward. But due to the fact that like I got home last night, close to 1:00 in the morning, and he was still up, greeted me, walked over to me, whinnied at me. Like, I loved on him. You know, it's not like he's laying down all the time and uncomfortable. And like, so that's not there. We're not there.
I just need to like kind of like reanalyze like where he's at this point.
And I think having multiple sets of eyes, the farrier that had worked with him for such a long time, I think that'd be a really good thing. Yeah. And he traveled really well when he came home, especially just like bedding the trailer super deep. It's like a 3.5 hour drive. He stands all day anyway, like, you know, just taking it slow. So it'd probably be like a 4-hour drive. I would much rather him have that little 4-hour commute, go hang out with them for a little bit, have a little more extensive imaging, and have, they're so specialized in everything they do there. They have so many different sets of eyes and hands to put on these horses to give them such specialized care. So we just want to make sure as he continues to grow, since he is having these growth spurts, that we give him the support he needs. And so, I just want to be clear. This isn't like a salvage procedure to be like, oh my gosh, he needs to go back to the vet because he's dying. Like that's not what we're doing. Yeah. We're being preemptive, and like, cause we did splint him here at home, and we have him in a comfortable spot. Like he's still up and, like I said, being his normal self, but we just like longevity wise, we just want to make sure he gets seen and, you know, all of those specifics kind of worked out. So he's going to go back for a little bit. That's going to be sad to not see him every day, but hopefully it's just a short little trip. She said it might not even be a month. It might just be a short little trip up there just to get everything figured out. Because we did have that, like when he came home the first time, they sent us with a brace, and they were like, hey, when this starts happening, throw this on for a day, should help. And that has worked for like 2 months. So if they could get him to that kind of a spot, being like, hey, as he grows, we figured this out, do this for him. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. But
Cool.
Yeah. So we kind of only meant for this to be a one video thing,
Yeah.
but it's been really fun to kind of end in some would you rathers because I feel like they brought up some pretty funny points and like
We
Yeah.
just like really enjoy it.
We
I
have
enjoy
fun
it.
with this.
I enjoy
We
it.
want to do it.
So we've pulled up some more would you rathers. I'm going to ask this one. It's would you rather have to speak in a baby voice for a full day or only be spoken to in a baby voice for a full day? Honestly, let's just take out for a day. Would
Okay,
you
wait.
rather forever have to speak in a baby voice or be spoken to in a baby voice?
Everyone give an example of their baby voice. Okay, let's choose a sentence for everyone to say.
Yeah, I need a sentence.
Okay, let's say like we're talking to like a dog. Come here, boy. I've got a treat for you.
Okay, here we go.
Come here, boy. I've got a treat for you.
Come here, boy. I got a treat for you.
Come here, boy. I've got a tweet for you.
Oh, yeah, you got to take the R's out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh,
I got
God.
a tweet for you.
I think I could get over listening to baby talk. I don't want to be perceived as the baby talk girl.
I'd rather everyone talk
I
to me
think
that
I'd rather
way.
everyone talk. I would get used to it. But if everyone was like, what is this girl doing?
It
Like,
depends like what day and what crowd, I think.
Okay, here's a side question. It won't change my answer. The people who are now talking in a baby voice to me, are they actually having to do it? Or is it just like being interpreted in the air? Like, are they talking normal and I'm just hearing it as
no,
baby talk?
they are doing it to you. They
They're
are
Oh,
baby
yeah.
They are baby
I'm
voice talking
making
to you.
everyone else do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think I would also choose that.
Yeah, I don't want to be perceived as just that girl always talks in her baby voice. Like
Yeah.
A weird
no
It-
one would want to be around me.
Low key, it would almost be a superpower to have the only normal voice.
Mm.
But okay, are they
Everyone
only
respects
talking a
you.
baby voice to you,
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's
and then
only
they
to you.
get to talk regular to everyone else?
So like y'all would have to talk baby voice to me and then regular to each other. No one would hang out with you.
Oh.
So, no, I'm not talking like that again. Do not invite them. I'm not doing it.
That's a hard one.
I'm gonna spend 2 hours going, oh, do you want to come here? No.
You never
wouldn't-
get invited
never get
anywhere.
I
don't-
still think I don't want to be the one doing it.
Hey, I don't want to do it.
You still wouldn't get invited anywhere.
I know. Yeah.
Then you'd be the one doing it.
All right,
Okay.
your turn to come up with one.
But
You're just the
I have
asking.
one. I have one.
Oh, you have one?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you rather lose all of your current memories or never be able to make new ones?
Mm.
If you lose them all, are people allowed to tell you what's happened and like fill you in?
I would think so. They'd have to.
Yeah. They can tell you what happened, but you won't remember
You won't
it.
remember it. You won't ever like.
I have a lot of life left to live. I think I'd
I
like
think so,
to
too.
have like amnesia, and then Jonathan can fill me in on what's happened.
I agree with that.
Because honestly, my memory's shot before Jonathan anyway. I don't know if it's a trauma response, and I don't remember like hardly any childhood stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember hardly any high school boyfriends. I don't remember anything. Like,
I think I would lose all memories as well.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think I'd rather that and then just make new ones. I have like 50 to 70 years left, hopefully, of memories to go.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like I don't even have kids yet. I want to remember my babies, and I'd lose so much. Okay, you know those memories that pop up like from 15 years ago at
Mhm.
night, and they keep you up. You're like, I wonder if that person still thinks I'm a dweeb because I said
Mhm.
this, and
No,
I'd lose all that.
no, Facebook still remembers. That's still gonna. 4 years ago, you look stupid.
That'd be kind of fun though. Be like, that's cool.
4 years ago, you were with this person that ruined your life.
10 years ago, this was your hair.
This was how stupid you
I'd make
looked.
Jonathan go purge my Facebook.
Would you rather sweat maple syrup or cry strawberry jam?
I would cry strawberry jam because I don't cry that often, but I
Yeah.
sweat every day.
You could kind of control the crying thing more than you could the sweating.
The sweating. Oh my God. If
It
Jonathan,
would be so sticky.
I'm married to the sweatiest man alive.
But is it just you or is it everyone else? It's just
It's
you and
just
other
you.
people have to deal with it. It's not other people.
I'm not bringing nice scent to the room though.
If it's everybody, for sure cry, because like if my husband sweat maple syrup, he is the sweatiest. Like he's a furnace.
But like imagine it like dripping down your face and like it gets into your eyes.
But
or, like-
strawberry jam, okay, but like
Yeah,
I cry so little.
that's what I'm saying.
deal
The
with it.
syrup would suck.
But
Yes.
to be fair, how often when you cry do you go like a tear will be running down, you hit it with
It would be
Already
kinda
now?
good. It honestly wouldn't be the worst thing.
you're just like
You could cry like on command.
Like I'm a
If you
little
wanted
hungry.
to.
Just to get a little
I need
hungry?
a snack. Think of something really sad.
gotta go.
I already like the taste of tears. They're salty.
I know.
Yeah.
And with how like seldom you cry, it's kind of a party trick.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
But I
maple
wonder if it's
syrup
like
guy.
hurts.
Yeah, you're the sticky guy.
But I wonder if it like hurts because I mean your tear ducts.
it's like
do they
that's
adapt?
Jam.
Do they adapt to jam, or is it like you're
Let's
trying
say
to?
they adapt and it's fun.
I would think it would work the same as if you were crying regular tears, but it would just be jam.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just a little jam.
But then it's like, oh man, you're trying to go out and like you cry because of something, and like you watch a soldier coming home video. Oh my god, you
You're
ruin
freaking
your makeup.
people out.
You just have your jar ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ruin your makeup, but if it was like you,
Yeah.
everyone would just
What if
think you
like
were,
what
like,
if you were
dying.
like a girl on social media? You know how some people like sell their bath water and stuff. You're like, you want my tears, my strawberry jam
strawberry
tears.
jam.
Wow. I'd go for a pretty penny.
see, it's looking like that would
you
be
could
the
also
smart
you could
thing.
also do that with the sweat.
You could do
for
that
some
Oh,
weird guys.
Yeah.
But
you
I
could
would not wanna
probably
deal with
get a
that.
much larger amount of
With
the
the
maple
sweat.
syrup if you wanted to sell it.
That's true.
But like,
You're
could
gonna
you
start a
imagine
business?
trying to function in life?
No.
Just being sticky all
You're
the
just
time.
always
You
have
smell
maple
amazing.
syrup all over you.
You would smell You would smell amazing all the time.
You would, but like I feel like people would just get sick of you
You're just like dripping long strings.
at all times.
Oh no! Well, I mean, when I
No.
sweat, I'm not dripping sweat all the
No,
time.
but like
Sometimes.
imagine if you were.
I'm not an overly sweaty person to begin
It's like
with.
in your hair, like when you get sweaty.
Oh no!
Uh,
You'd have to carry wet wipes with you at all times.
Mhm.
it's the jam for me.
Yeah,
The jam, for sure. Kimmy would love the jam. She would lick it
She'd
off
like the
Mama's
syrup
face.
a lot too.
Yeah, you would.
She
Yeah.
likes the sweat on its own.
I know Jonathan. She loves his little neck sweat.
Ugh.
She licks it.
Dogs are so gross.
Okay, well, I think that's it for today. We have lots of fun things happening this week that we will be documenting. So if you don't already, subscribe to the channel. We post on here 3 days a week. And then we also have shorts. It's a really fun time over here where you get content that you don't get anywhere else. So hop on that bandwagon, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go follow my Snapchat. That's where we do a lot of behind the scenes. We post literally 80 to 100 snaps a day, sometimes more. It's a fun time over there as well. A lot less edited, a little more chaotic. So follow over there. Let us know in the comments what you would like to hear about next. Maybe some would you rather ideas if you want us to keep that
Yeah,
going.
do that.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.